I have absolutely no interest in having sex with my husband. I resent sex as a whole, partially just, I think it's due to a lot of things. For me, it feels very mandatory. I also just have this feeling like I genuinely don't need it. I don't want it. And it's causing issues because I know my husband needs it.
I was going to say, are you married?
I am married. Okay. I've been married for about 15 months. And I did not have sex before marriage. I was a virgin when I got married. And we kind of didn't anticipate any issues in this regard because, granted, even in the confines of trying to remain a virgin before marriage, you make out and you feel a passionate connection towards one another. And then I got married and it felt like it went away. And now it's to the point where I have absolutely no interest in having sex with my husband at all.
Yeah.
None. And I'm not 100% sure why. I could probably come up with a list of possible reasons, but I'm kind of at a point where I don't really know what to do about it because I know, while I may not need it, I know he needs it. And it's getting very challenging for me because I'm just kind of in this, please don't touch me. I don't want to be touched. I don't feel like this, doing this today. And even on the times that I kind of muster up enough to have sex with my husband, I mean, I enjoy it once I get there, but getting there is like very hard for me.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point where I don't really know what to do about it. And I want to fix it because I want to have sex.
Of course.
But I don't.
Excellent.
Okay. So you guys heard this absolute foolishness that just came out of this woman's mouth. Now, I don't know what this was. I don't know if this lady called into a radio station or something. It sounds like one of those radio station call-ins. And I don't know what this woman's age is. She's sounds like she might be in her late 20s, early 30s, but I'm not too sure. Now, the reason that I bring that up is because of what she said and what she did not say. This woman opened her mouth and she said she does not like having sex with her husband. Now, she goes on to assert a few things that just don't make sense. First and foremost, this woman says she's been married for about 15 months. So it's not like she's been married for an extensive period of time. Then she goes on to assert that she was a virgin when she got married, which I 100% don't believe because, like I said, she sounds like she might be a little bit older, but who knows? But she says she's a virgin. And then, she does not say that the man is bad in bed. She doesn't say he's not well endowed. She does not say he's a lazy lover and he only takes care of himself. She just simply says she doesn't like having sex with him. Now, I want you to think about something. This woman said that she was a virgin. She does sound like she's a little bit older. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, maybe she repackaged herself and she went the God route. And she says, oh, I'm a virgin now. So she's a virgin in her mind. She's selling herself to this guy as a virgin. And that's why she's saying that. Hence the reason that she's tired of having sex. See, she doesn't dislike sex. Keep in mind, she herself said she resents sex for a bunch of reasons. She said for numerous reasons, she resents sex. Think about this, people. If she was a virgin, why would she resent sex for numerous reasons? If you're a virgin, you've never had it. What are you talking about? This makes absolutely no sense. This is why I say you have to listen to what women say. They will tell on themselves if you just let them keep talking. So this woman says that she was a virgin, allegedly, even though she sounds like she's in her 30s, right? And she could have jumped off the porch at a very, very young age because a lot of women do, which is why I'm asserting that it's possible that she jumped off the porch at a really young age. She got accessed by a lot of men early on, and now she's just tapped out. And she tapped out with a nice guy, a proverbial nice guy, and this guy wifed her up, and she sold herself to this man as a virgin. She hit him over the head with the frying pan of faith and made him play the wait till marriage game. Then she gets the marriage, and now she don't want to have sex with her husband, who she does not say is bad in bed or not well endowed. She just doesn't like the man as a whole. This is what I'm talking about. You guys are out here trying to get married, taking your eyes off the bag, taking your eyes off the prize. Meanwhile, these women are getting run through at the age of 15 and beyond. And then they're selling themselves to you as virgins, making you wait till marriage, and then calling into radio stations talking about they don't want to have sex with you. They resent sex with you. They resent sex for a bunch of different reasons, although they were allegedly virgins. This is why I tell you guys, man, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on making more money, getting more assets, putting yourself in a better position. This woman she's giving you every reason under the sun as to why you should never put a woman first. Imagine being the guy who thought he got a pure virgin, and you marry this chick and she is making you fight for sex. Think about this. You've been married for not even 2 years. The first 3 to 5 years, you guys should be going at it like jackrabbits. Like, that's the years when you have the kids. That's the years when you are showing up late to every event because you guys are just all over each other. Those are the years where people got to call you and schedule appointments to get your guys' time because y'all are just all over each other. But this woman is talking about, I resent sex for a whole bunch of reasons, even though I was a virgin when I met my husband, allegedly, but I don't want to have sex with my husband. He's not small in the pants or bad in bed. And you know what the craziest part is? This woman even said she likes it once she gets to it. Do you know what that means? She said she likes the sex once she actually gets to it, but getting to it is the hard part. What this means is she does not like the person that the sex is coming from. She is used to getting her lights knocked out by Chad Thunderstroke and Tyrone. She is used to getting the Chad and Tyrone special, so she hates the regular Joe Schmo that's giving it to her now. That's why she can enjoy it once she's actually into it, because she can think about Chad and she can think about Tyrone. But when it comes to just regular old Bill who wants to sex her up, she doesn't have anything for him because she's been getting maxed out since 15. This is why I say keep your eye on the prize. The woman is not the prize. Your mission is the prize. That's the first priority, because this is what you're going to marry. And that's if you get lucky. Think about what happens if you marry a truly bad woman who ends up giving you kids, and then she can take your house and she can take your kids and all of that. It gets so much worse. This guy's about to get off the hook easy, but it gets so much worse than this.
I gave my kid a phone when she turned 12, and she's now 21. And let me tell you, mother to mother, I deeply regret it. You know, back then I didn't know the effects of social media, technology, and the phone and screen addiction as we know now. So I can't beat myself up for it a lot, but I'm here to tell you, if you're a parent of a young child, no screens till teens, at least till 15, 16. Let the cutoff be 15. Why? Because the child's brain is not designed to handle this constant stimulation, this constant influx of data, this constant dopamine hit. We all know that the design of these algorithms is to create an addiction, chemical addiction in the brain. And the most important thing is children do not do well when they are constantly comparing themselves to other people's anecdotal life. You know, we see other people's lives in just a slice in an anecdote, and that is detrimental to our psychology. It affects us. Even as a 52-year-old, it's affecting me. So imagine what it's doing to our children. Keep your kids away from screens, connect to them, play with them, let them be in nature, move with them, enjoy them when you have them young.
Okay, now this woman here, she's talking about her regret in giving her daughter a cell phone at 12 years old. And she's saying, you know, she doesn't beat herself up too much because she didn't know the implications, which, you know, I guess, yeah, sure. You know, everybody is finding out about the effects of screen time kind of at the same time. But here's the deal. This woman does not regret giving her daughter the phone simply because of the screen addiction and the dopamine hits and all of that. That's not the case. What she regrets is what her daughter has now become and what she's turned into. Yes, Women and men can get a hold of these cell phones and they get addicted to the dopamine hits and they get addicted to the screen time and all of this. And with women in particular, yes, they live hyper comparative lives. Women will compare themselves to other women and they'll see what other women are getting and doing, and they need to do those same things, right? It's not like a young male gets his phone and he sees that these guys are out there slam dunking and, running touchdowns and, beating people up in the octagon. They know I'm not built for that. Like the boys know this guy is bigger and better than me. So I'm not going to try to do what he does, but it's awesome to see him do it. Women see stuff online and they think that should be me. So they start living vicariously. The reason this woman is really upset is because of what her daughter is actually doing. See, when women pick up that phone, they can manifest a lot of things in real life. They can go out there and they can get the guy. And if they can't get the guy, they can get another guy. The money that they see people have, they know that they can get online and they can put their bodies out there and then they can get in some man's face and all the makeup that they want, that guy will buy it for them, or at least he'll give them money. The trips that they want to go on, they know. All I got to do is put my body on the line and I can get that trip. The cars they want, they might not be able to get a whole car, but they can get someone who has that car. Women know that they can leverage their bodies to get the things that they see online. And that's what a lot of these women are doing. This woman is probably watching her daughter sell herself to the highest bidder for various things. Handbags, VIP treatment at clubs, this, that, and the third. Like that woman, she looked like she had some work done on her face. And she said she was 52. And I'm not going to lie, for 52, she's very beautiful. She's an objectively beautiful woman. She's probably had some work and her daughter is probably a gorgeous woman. But at 21, the 21-year-old version of that woman who's talking in the video is probably drop dead gorgeous. So her daughter is probably a knockout as well. So she's watching her daughter give herself away to men at a very early age. And now she's 21 and she's probably at the stage where she's about to crash out and the mom is just at her wit's end. That's why she's getting out here. And I'm not like saying, nana, nana, boo, boo. I'm not like laughing at her or anything like that. I'm just simply saying, this is what this is what this woman is complaining about. This is what she's seeing. And this is what I tell you guys. You're out here trying to date these women rather than get your money up. And all of these women are at the brink of crashing out to the point where even their mothers are online crying out for help. And this woman ain't nothing but 21, 22. Right? So when you start looking at these women who are a little bit older, they've crashed out once or twice, got back, to business, crashed out again. Like they've been through so much. It's not worth it. This is why you just stay focused on the mission, make money, gather assets, right? Stay away from the chaos and date way younger.
What's Andrew Tate's best advice to make your dreams a reality, to beat the matrix, to break the chains of where most people are born and raised to live their dreams?
Sure, I'll give my best advice. My best advice is to stop trying to do anything by yourself because you're competing against teams.
Who, not how.
Well, yeah, you're never going to be able to outcompete a team by yourself. This whole idea of Rambo, lone soldier is garbage. I can even talk about me. I make a lot of money with a lot of people. I have hundreds of people effectively I work with in different areas in different regards. I have a very large team of competent men. I'm a competent man and I know hundreds of competent men and we're all pushing in one direction. How can you as one person with your limited human time and space and energy outcompete us? You can't. You need to find people you can rely on and trust, which is actually the most difficult thing. Because especially when money's involved, you'll start to learn that that's hard. But if you can build a true fraternity of people who are on your side, you can trust with your life, you can do amazing things. Jesus did amazing things with 12 disciples. It's amazing what you can do with a few good men.
Okay, so I don't know how you guys feel about Andrew Tate, but me personally, I don't agree with everything he says, but I do agree with a lot of what he says. And this is one of the truest things that I've ever heard him talk about. You need a network. I don't care how many assets you have. I don't care how much cash you have. I don't care what you have access to. When the crap hits the fan, you are going to need people who are, you're going to have people who have your back and they have assets as well, right? No king is just out there with no allies. You need allies. And the problem is a lot of times your allies, they are They're always one pretty girl away from burning down what you guys have built. I've seen it and I've experienced it myself. You know, you start building something and then one or two of the guys who are with you, they take their foot off the gas, they take their eye off the prize for some pretty girl, and she just tears everything apart, or she severely hampers your forward progress. So if you guys have guys in your life, you have a brother, you got uncles, you got cousins, you have friends from college, from the military, from work, whatever, you guys need to think about actually building something, whatever it might be. Build something, get some assets, you know, build a brotherhood. You need something that is mutually beneficial to you, your family, their family, so you guys have a vested interest in staying tight and having a good bond. And in that, you guys have to put your mission first over any woman, right? I can't really tell you how you're going to build a brotherhood if you're already married and, you know, you got old ball and chains that you got to deal with and you got to politic on that particular end. But if you have the freedom of movement and you have the freedom of time and resources, try to build some form of a network. If, like I said, if you got family, try to build something with your family. And if you can't build any kind of network, just understand things are going to be a whole lot more difficult for you as the economy starts to crash and just as society as a whole starts to de-evolve into some tribal, you know, bull crap because of everything that's going on.
What do men want us to bring to the table?
We want femininity, we want submissiveness, and we want a lack of conflict. As a woman, if you're just chill and you don't quarrel and nag, you don't even have to be good looking. Just don't annoy us. That's it. That's all you gotta be. What the
So what is she doing though?
Huh?
So everything I listed basically like is not enough for you, but what are you listing that she's actually doing? Just don't be annoying. So what is she doing then? Sitting there?
So
like you're not giving any actual good characteristics of what you're looking for.
Lack of negative things,
of course,
is a thing. Mm-hmm. So like, you can go into the positive. Like
so
you can be
want a
pleasant.
Partner?
Yeah, you should be positive, you should be pleasant, but like a lot of men, we don't want to deal with nagging and quarreling. A lot of women, I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women don't bring peace to their man. And a lot of dudes, if you're dealing with a guy of a certain caliber, his life is difficult. He's already contending with the world. He doesn't want to go home where his peace should be and dealing with a quarreling, nagging woman. Just be his peace. That's it. Be his peace, be feminine, be submissive, and be attractive enough.
What do men want us to bring to them?
You know what the absolute most crazy thing about this clip is? For me personally, it's the absolute shock and awe on these women's face and in their voice when they ask him, what do men want? And he says simply, we want you to be peace. We want you to be peaceable. We want you to be easy to get along with. We want you to be non-problematic. And it's like you can just smell the gears in their mind just burning up as they turn at RPMs never seen before. Like they don't get it. They absolutely cannot fathom the idea of being non-problematic. Most women they don't understand not being problematic because in their mind, it's all about stimulation. Well, I'm supposed to be receiving stimulation. Therefore, I'm supposed to give you some sort of stimulation so you can give me stimulation. So she, in her mind, thinks being problematic towards you will, give her stimulation because now you guys can fight back and forth. Like they really want the chaos. It's absolute insanity. Most people don't understand it. I'll do a video on that here in the future. But these women, you can tell they have never been told that they're supposed to do anything for a man or behave for a man in any particular way, shape, or form. Like most people raise their sons to be protectors and providers for women, to be kind and compassionate and yada, 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 so on and so forth. Okay, that's great. We want good, strong men. We want righteous men. We don't want psychos running around. But most people raise their daughter to be strong and capable as well. They raise their daughter to be the men that they want their daughter to date. You guys get what I'm saying. It's just this crazy thing where these women think that they're supposed to go out, get the degree, get the job, get the accolades, And then they're supposed to come to you, and you're supposed to want to date that person. You're supposed to want to love that person, cherish that person. You're supposed to approach that person. You're supposed to engage with this person. You're supposed to do all the heavy lifting. And then when you get into a relationship, you, the man who are doing everything, you're supposed to simply, you're supposed to just be happy with the fact that she has her own while you get none of her own, and you give up all of yours. And you're supposed to, you're supposed to build this life that's all about her. Like, they think life is supposed to be about, like, it's the main character syndrome on steroids. And they don't understand. We don't care about your degree. We don't care about your accolades. We don't care about anything you've attained in life. Just be pretty and be pleasant and be non-argumentative. Can you do those two things? That's essentially what Andrew asked, and their mind just went into hyperdrive because they can't comprehend being a submissive teammate. I am the team leader. Just chill out, shut up, and let me deliver these W's, because I'm going to deliver time after time. Shout out to Cyndi Lauper. I'm going to keep delivering. But nope, that's just too confounding for them. They think their input and their problematic nature is actually necessary. It's mind-boggling.
When the tariffs against China inevitably hit 300%, you are going to see China completely bypass intellectual property and release their own iPhone. And it is going to sweep the globe. Have you seen what iShowSpeed was presented in China recently? My man was at, I think, a tech store, and he was handed a tri-folding phone. It was the size of like an iPad mini, and it folds twice into a phone. Unlike Apple, which is going to be dropping, I think, a foldable $3,000 phone this year and next year. They've got already tri-folding phones. Yes, China has significant human rights issues, privacy issues, and other major issues, but they are also leagues above us when it comes to healthcare, tech, and transportation. They have the infrastructure to produce the tech for the rest of the world. They don't need us. We need them because that's where we get our stuff from. Oh, but that's fine. We'll just make the phones in our own country when production comes back to the States. Yeah, I'm not buying a $30,000 phone. I can relocate to another country for that money.
Okay, people. I haven't talked much about the tariffs, but I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with NAFTA. I don't know if you are old enough to remember that. That was something that Bill Clinton did a long time ago, back in like 92, 94 timeframe. And he essentially sent all of the American infrastructure overseas. He allowed big business to go overseas and stuff like that. And this is when all of the steel mills started shutting down. And this is when we lost the infrastructural verticality to actually build things in America. This is why these tariffs are not going to work. We're never bringing jobs. We're never bringing manufacturing back to America, not in any real sense. It's like, yeah, you might make some things in America, but the verticality to build the whole thing resides in China. Like, they are light years ahead. They can build everything start to finish, and then they just ship it to America or they ship it to Europe. They have the whole thing. This is what, like, these tariffs are like, we're not winning. So this idea that, we're going to come out smelling like roses on this, I don't know how you guys feel about Trump. I don't hate the guy, but I know he grossly underestimated what he was doing. Like, you can't go to war with a person who literally can choose anybody else in the world to do business with. And then you say, well, we're not going to do business with you. Well, how are you going to get your stuff? All of your electronics are made in China. Nothing is made in America. What are you going to do? You're going to make everything in Taiwan? And that's what's going to rush us over into World War III, right? So I'm not going to go too deep on the tariffs because I would have to do a whole independent video. I just think it's weird how people don't understand basic economics and basic manufacturing. We don't have the verticality. We got rid of it with NAFTA a long time ago. And even at that, if they make stuff in America, it's like the price is going to go through the roof. Those people in China don't have any health care. They don't have any retirement. There's no 401k. There's no workman's comp. There's nothing. So they're making that stuff for pennies on the dollar, as to where if it comes over here, whatever it is that you're trying to bring over here, that stuff is going to cost an egregious amount of money. So, it's just one of those things to keep an eye on. And it's another reason why you need to be doing as much as you can to outpace inflation, to outpace the hyper explosion of prices and things like that. This is why I tell you, stop worrying about dating, start worrying about all things money. In this economy, with these tariffs and everything like that, absolutely everything that costs money is going to increase in price. And overnight, you guys are going to see that a woman is nothing but a liability.
If your kid just beats the fuck out of their sibling and attacks your partner, you're not going to reprimand that? You're going to do soft parenting, sit down and try to have a soft conversation? What are we talking about? I don't believe in beating your kid, punching your kid. However, if you got to slap him on the ass or give him a slap upside the head because he's physically breaking things in your household, or she is attacking everybody, verbally abusing them, then reprimand them and do what you need to do. I don't think it's black and white. I think it's all gray, and people need to learn how to run their own household in the best way for their children. Not for themselves, for their children.
It's kind of crazy how this is even a conversation, because I always see it as, if you have a kid and they know I can cross this line and there's nothing that's going to happen, right? When you have that kid, there's nothing you can do about that kid or their behavior if you don't check it from day one. See, a lot of kids have this or else syndrome. Like, I dated a girl and her whole thing was, would you ever put your hands on a woman? And I said, yes. And she got upset at that. Right. But she would always like to try to, play this or else what game. Right. And her whole thing was, she's going to act stupid and I'm going to tell her to stop. And she's going to say, or else what? Because she wanted there to be some sort of consequence. She wanted there to be some sort of confrontation. She would like to press the bounds of stuff. And I ended up getting rid of her like real quick. But the point of the matter is, a lot of kids have that or else what mindset, and they will cross the line and you'll tell them to stop. You'll tell them no, stop, or don't. And then they'll say, or else what? And when you don't deliver a consequence, they know that they have just won. And this is why when a kid starts getting violent, you have to answer their violence with violence. I've never understood the concept of a kid being able to conduct himself in such a way that violence is the only way to rein this person back in, yet violence is never doled out. Like, I agree with the guy. I'm not telling you to powerbomb this kid through a coffee table, but I'm certainly telling you that at early ages, your kid should have a visceral physical fear of you, especially as a father. Your child should be in physical fear of you until they get around that age where they're about the same size, maybe same height. And at that point, they should know, if you raise up against me, you're out the house, right? So now it's legal consequences. Now it's economic consequences. How you going to feed yourself? How you going to clothe yourself? That type of deal. But a lot of times this kind of behavior is executed with women. Like, you'll see a lot of girls who act like this because violence against girls and women is just so taboo that you'll have a young girl who, always crosses that line into the or else what territory, and you can't do anything because the mom does not care how bad the girl is. She's never going to let you abuse that girl, which it's not abuse if you have to use physical correction, not if she's putting her hands on somebody or not if she's tearing up the house. But I've seen this a lot with women. They learn from a very early age. All they have to do is cross the line far enough into the or else what territory, because the consequence is always physical violence. Like, the only way to rein them in when their attitude gets that bad, when their behavior gets that bad, the only way to rein them in is putting hands on them. And they know you can't do that. Either, the law won't allow it, society won't allow it, this, that, and the third. Everybody thinks there's always another alternative, and sometimes there's not. So this dude is right. It's in the gray area.
What's your age?
26 on February 22nd. So I'm 25 right now.
Are you single?
I am single.
Why do you think that is?
Because I want to be. I have a couple of boyfriends. I hope they're not watching. Maybe like 4 or 5. So I guess I'm single. I am single.
I mean, but what's it like dating 5 people at the same time?
It's just like juggling. You have to be talented.
Are you sleeping with all 5 of them?
Not all of them. Depends on the situation.
Why not all? What's the deciding factor?
Well, there's different guys for different situations. Some guys, I just want to go to... I forgot that I'm recording this.
Some guys you just want to what?
There's different purposes for different tools.
One's a shovel, one's a knife, one's a fork.
Yeah, honestly, the one that I'm fucking, never gonna get in a relationship with him. He doesn't have the job, the finances, none of that.
So why even open yourself up to a guy like that?
Great dick.
Okay, honest to God, do I even need to review this video? Like, do I even need to give commentary on this utter and complete foolishness? I mean, you don't even need to think about what she said. You heard it. There's no thought involved. This woman is telling you exactly what it is that you are going to run into if you try to date. This woman says she's 26, going on 27 or something like that. Most of my audience is 25 and over. And I can tell you, as a 40-year-old man who did 10 years in the military, who worked in the engineering realm with professional women who were graduating from state colleges and who worked in the party and nightlife industry, I can tell you 100%. This is 99.9% of all women who could be considered to be objectively attractive. They all, and I do mean all, they all have a roster, and it's all about 5 guys because, you know, that's what they can reasonably handle. They all have a roster of about 5 guys at minimum, right? Some of them have more than that, but at a minimum, they got about 5 guys, and one of the guys is just a friend. One of the guys is an emotional tampon. One of the guys is a certified crash out. One of the guys, he's the money guy. He's the foodie call or something like that. They got a guy to change their oil. They got a guy to buy them gifts. They got a guy to go to the movies with. They got guys that they just go out with and dance with, and they know that they're never going to have sex with those guys. Those are the crash out guys. Those are the bodyguards. And then they got a guy who's just there to beat the stuffing out of them and send them packing. And like she said, I'm never going to get in a relationship with that guy. He's a dirtbag. He's a cheater. He ain't got no finances. He ain't got no car. He ain't got this. He ain't got that. What did she say was the selling point? He's great in bed. He can give her the thrills. He can curl her toes. This is what I'm talking about. A lot of guys want to go out here and they want to date. They want to get married. But you guys don't understand. While you're on your mission, which is what should be your first primary focus, your mission to get more money, to get more assets, to position yourself better in life, while you're on your mission, her mission is this. This is her mission. Have 5 or 6 guys at a time, and she's just going to let some of these guys beat it up. She's going to let some of these guys pay for her bills. She's going to run through all of these guys, and then she's going to check out with you. She's going to cash her chips in with you. And guess what? We're going full circle back to the girl who said, oh, I was a virgin when I met my husband and we didn't have sex before marriage. But now that we're married, I don't like having sex with my husband. Do you see how we come full circle? Do you see how we get there? Do you guys see how that all works out? Like, this stuff is not a coincidence. I'm batting 1,000. And this is why YouTube hates me. This is why they throttle my channel and say, we only going to show your videos to about 200 people because they don't want the truth getting out. This is what you're dealing with. This is what you're dating. You cannot show me where I'm wrong. You can't prove me wrong. This woman is out here. She's clearly objectively good looking. She looks like she goes to the gym. She's got a smoking hot body, right? She's mid in the face, but her body's nice. And what is she doing? She has a roster of multiple guys, and she's letting one of those guys run through her while she uses all the rest. And she's obviously going to want to cash out at some point. But what did she say? She was, 26 going on 27, or maybe she was going on 25. I didn't quite pay attention to that part. It doesn't matter because we know she's not going to cash out before 30. And then she's going to try to cash out and say, where are all the good guys at? This is what we are facing. If you're Gen Z, like if you're like a super young millennial or older Gen Z, you're doomed if you're trying to date women your same age. As a 40-year-old man, I don't date women my same age because I watched them do it in real time. I watched the rise of online dating, so I already know all of this. But when you look at the younger generations, this is why they're not dating, because a lot of these guys are watching it happen as I watched it happen, but they're in disbelief. They can't believe that it's really going on. Nope, it's really going on. she's really moving like that. It's really that bad. So stay focused. Stay focused on your mission. Stay focused on your purpose. It does not get any better. You're going to be in your, if you're like 25, you're going to be about 35 before you get where you need to be monetarily, so you can date down 10 or 15 years and get something that's somewhat salvageable. But this right here, it's cooked.